Welcome, class, to Lesson 215. Strong mathematicians can multiply two-digit numbers with fewer steps to solve real-world problems. So we're really working on this today on we're using the parent method versus the area model. We're still working on some estimation to keep practicing that skill as we move forward. So you take out your pencil, your notebook, write today's date, write today's lesson, and let's get started. So you didn't write this down. We talked about the strategy before. The estimation sandwich I really enjoy because they have a top number and a bottom number. I know my answer is going to be in between there. And we talked about even a better estimate where you take each number individually and you round to the closest one. And both strategies work to help us out. So with that, just a quick problem to review. There's 86 plus 69. We did this yesterday. If you can, go for it. Pause the video, see if you can solve it, and then see if your work matches mine. If you're not so sure, watch with me as we walk through the process. So we start with our estimation sandwich first. Our problem is 86 times 69. So if I think, what is 86 closer to? Well, I would say 86 would be closer to 90. So that'd be part of my better estimate. And the lower side would be 80. I look at 69. 69 would be closer to 70. So that would be my better estimate. And here, this would be 60 would be my lower estimate. So notice my better estimate and the upper of my sandwich this time happen to be the same, which would be 6,300. Our lower end of the estimate would be 4,800. So our goal is hopefully the numbers in between, but it should be really close to our upper edge than our bottom edge. So we take our two numbers, 86, and we can break that to 80 plus 6, and 60 plus 9. Scroll down so I have a little more space to work with. So 60 times 80 equals 60 times 6. So I had 9 times 80. And 9 times 6 is going to give me all the partial products and put together and get the final product. I have 60, which is 6 times 10, and 80, which is 8 times 10. My 10 times 10 is 100. That's why you see a 0 here in the 1s and a 0 in the 10s. 8 times 6 is 48, so I have 48 groups of 100. I have 110 here because 60 is 6 times 10. So I'm going to take 6 times 6 is 36, and times that by 10 gives me 360. And here we have 9 times 80, which is 810. So 9 times 8 is 72. 72 times 10 is 720. And last but not least, 9 times 6 is 54. I'm going to take those numbers and use a nice shade of purple. Why not? 4,800 plus 360 and 720 and 54. When I add those all up, I get 4. 6 plus 2 is 8, plus 5 is 13. Carry the 1. 1 plus 8 is 9. Plus 3 is 12. Plus 7 is 19. Carry the 1. I get 5,934. And that looks like it's going to be in between those two, and it seems pretty close to my upper than my lower. So my answer could be in good shape. So pause the video right now, write this down as another example as we work through. Maybe even try the parent method like I said we were going to, even though I showed an example that doesn't have that, go figure. So now we're going to do this one. We said, between his 9th and 10th birthdays, Jimmy read one book each week. There are 52 weeks in a year. Each book had about 95 pages. About how many pages did he read during the year? So we're going to estimate sandwich. So that means each book has 52 pages, or 52 weeks. So there's my 52, and each book had about 95 pages. So that's my actual problem. So if I'm going to round up, I'm going to have 60 times 100. If I'm going to round down, I'm going to have 50 times 90. 60 times 100 would be 60 groups of 100, or 6,000. And 50 times 90 would be 4,500, or 4,500. And now I need to figure out about how many pages did he read. So let's use the parent model right here. 95 times 52. Start with my 1s. 2 times 5 is 10. So 0 goes here, 1 goes above. 2 times 9 is 18, plus the 1 gives me 19. So I have 190. Now I'm moving to my 10's place value. So you see how I'm drawing that line to remind myself. I need to start right here with my work. 5 times 5 is 25, so the 5 goes here and the 2 goes on top. 5 times 9 is 45, plus the 2 is 47. And now I need to add those numbers together. So I put a 0 here. That would work. So since I ran out of space, I'm just going to rewrite these numbers quick. Make sure I copy them correctly. It's a big skill as well. 0, 9 times 5 is 14. Carry the 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. Plus 7 is 9. 4. So about how many pages did he read during the year? He read, so about, because it's probably not exactly, because probably some books had more and some had less, but about 4,940 pages. Since it's a word problem, it needs a label. And that fits in between our two numbers right there. So you can pause the video, write down the examples to help you out as we move on to the next problem. So Balloon Bonanza sells party balloons in packages of 26 balloons. There are 48 packages in the store. How many balloons are in the package? It says estimate sandwich, then solve. So if I picture each of these packages of 26, and in each package there's 48, so I picture all these balloons that I got to figure out. If I have a high estimate, well, we're going to take this. 26 is between 30 and 20, and 48 is between 50 and 40, so I have a overestimate and an underestimate of 1,500 and 800. So somewhere in between should be the answer of how many balloons are in 48 packages. So we're going to start 26 times 48. So starting our ones place value, which means we're going to start right here. 8 times 6 is 48. 8 times 2 is 16, plus the 4 gives us 20. So really, 26 times 8 is 208. Our next one, that's probably too close in a color. We'll use green. We're going to start with the 4, which means we're going to start right here. So I have 0 in my ones, because 4 really stands for 40. And I'm factoring out the 10 already. 4 times 6 is 24. The 2 right there. 4 times 2 is 8, plus 2 is 10. And when I add those up, since I didn't give myself enough space again, I should really learn better, is 8421. So 1,248. But since this is a word problem, they want to know how many balloons. There are 1,248 balloons. And that's in between these two numbers, which is a good sign. So you can pause the video, write down this example to help you as well. So now it's your turn. So just another quick practice of an estimation sandwich using the area model and getting a closer estimate of 76 times 64. You can pause the video and do your best work. And some word problems we're going to face. Sam's father built a stone wall in their backyard. The wall has 14 stones high and 79 stones long. How many stones did he use to build the wall? So you can pause the video, read the word problem again, and go estimate sandwich, and then try to solve it using the parent method. If you're not sure, then use the area model to check your parent method as a good practice. And last but not least, Brian is buying t-shirts for the marching band. He knows that at the parades, the band forms 27 rows. Each row has 13 students. If t-shirts come in boxes of 100, how many boxes of t-shirts should Brian buy? So pause this one, you're going to do some work and see how many t-shirts boxes does he need to buy. Good luck. As always, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to put them below or share them out. And also, if you have any strategies that you use to help you out, please make sure you include those as well. So thank you for another great lesson.